while I was still in the Marine Corps. I was a substance abuse control officer for my unit, and I was using that as a way to kind of masquerade my own issues. I was self-medicating. I had 2 DUIs, a couple assault charges, felony charge, and some reckless behavior. Part of what led me to transition out of the Marine Corps.
Welcome to the Combat Vet Transition Journey podcast. Pat Frager here. Every combat vet suffers from physical and emotional challenges. I find that transition is a lifelong journey. As they say, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, my name is Christina Vaca. I served in the Marine Corps for 10 years. Did one small tour in Iraq, 2 in Afghanistan with inclusion of Libya and Pakistan. I was a helicopter mechanic, 6123. Most of the outside of the wire stuff I did was providing logistical and air support, mainly with the CH-53s and the Hueys and Cobras.
So you've seen some action, that's for sure, right?
Yes.
Where were you in Afghanistan? Were you in the Helmand Valley?
Helmand Valley and Lashan province. We did some humanitarian mission in Pakistan. But then I got to see some action in northern Pakistan on the border with Afghanistan there as well.
Now, just to update you, our mutual friend, Abe Marsh, remember him? You guys served together, I think. And
yes,
Abe has just completed his DUI diversion program. You've been in those programs. As a matter of fact, you helped shepherd him through his program. How did that help you transition? Because you seem like you're doing pretty well right now.
It set some parameters. It set some safety nets for you, because the fall off of not completing the program is a lot greater than the inconvenience of having to go through the program. Part of me being able to keep some of my benefits was the fact that I was in the program. My symptoms and my diagnosis were identified post me getting in trouble. I was self-medicating. I was very irrational, very erratic. I was drinking a lot.
Now, what was your rank at that point in time, Chris?
I was a sergeant.
E5?
E5 in the Marine Corps.
Now, let's go back a little bit. You were also a drill instructor, weren't you, in the Marine Corps?
Yes, sir.
You had several incidents where you stood up for your men. You were always strong and put the guys in your unit ahead of everything else.
It first kind of started while I was going through drill instructor training, where they would tell us about the standard operating procedures of a drill instructor, the things to do and not to do. And while we were bird dogging another unit, I saw some Marines that were doing things that they weren't supposed to. And I stood up to their senior drill instructors, and I was kind of blackballed for that. This one drill instructor, one of the junior drill instructors in that platoon, put his hands on the back of a recruit and kind of pressed him against the rack. And me being in there, as I was shadowing, I'm like, if this comes up, my career is already done for. So I brought it up to his senior drill instructor. They brought it up to their platoon commander, and I got brought into the first sergeant's office. It's a really, really tricky dynamics to be in there and doing the right thing at all times while still maintaining a high pace, speed that is required of every drill instructor. Yes, it's a twist and turn of things that have to be done. And for me, that was one of the biggest moral struggles that I had. Because of that, I felt really pressured to always try to do my best. I ended up getting relief for cost due to putting my hands on a recruit. I self-reported as I should have done, and I got made an example out of it. I ended up getting kicked off of the drill field and being sent back to my old unit.
Now, when you were in Wounded Warriors, what kind of experience did you have there with the medications and the interactions with the other combat vets, primarily Marines, who were in the Wounded Warriors Battalion West?
Members of the Wounded Warrior community is a great thing to have. Without them, I don't know the kind of success, if you would like to call it, that I would have right now. especially some of the Marines like Abe that I met, like Antoine, like Austin. A lot of those Marines that were in there are the ones that gave me the support to continue to move on. But yeah, no, they were the catalyst to kind of see that I wasn't the only one going through those situations. Abe, for example, Abe was with 3-8. At the same time, we were in a firefight at the same time on the same area, maybe about 100, 200 feet away, and we came to reconnect, about almost 9 years later, while we were in Triple Threat. Triple Threat is a group and a class that meets up and discusses certain situations that deal with PTSD, alcohol, and anxiety, and how they all can create this turmoil of emotions within you. And we all sit around with a licensed psychologist in the room and talk about our experiences and try to listen to each other. I think it's the main focus of it is being in a support group for other people to hear that your experiences are not your own. Because that is one of the things that was happening to me, that even though we have different experiences, our emotions are kind of similar. Despair, loneliness, grief. And while I was at my lowest point, that was all I was focused on. It was my emotions. And it was, oh, why is this happening to me? Why am I feeling like this? Am I not strong enough? Can I survive this? Am I going to get out of this? Will I live through this? Those were the kind of questions that would ruminate in my head on a daily basis. Well, Veterans Treatment Court was a lifesaver for me. As I stated earlier, I had a few charges, legal pending charges over my head that I knew were going to carry on into my civilian life after I got out. No matter what the outcome was going to be, whether I was going to get retired or administrative separated, whatever it was, I knew that was going to carry on. So Vet Court is a California program. This program is not in a lot of programs in a lot of different states. So it's a California programs where, as you stated, the prosecution, the legal team, the judge, the VA, VVSD. There's a lot of moving parts that get included into that, and the main point of Veterans Treatment Court is rehabilitation and sustainability. Some of them is mandated by the court, identified and given by the court. In my case, I was already undergoing treatment while I was in, because I started Veteran Treatment Court about 6 months prior to me getting out of the Marine Corps. And then I continued treatment through the San Marcos Vet Center. And what's funny about it is that because of my work, I couldn't go to the OIF, OEF groups, and I was going to Vietnam, the Vietnam PTSD Combat Support Group, where there's about a 30-year difference between myself and the combat vets that were there, but the emotions, as I said earlier, are the same. Mm-hmm. They would say some things that kind of like I could relate to. And it was really eye-opening that, two separate wars, two different wars, same emotions, same feelings. I would be the kid, whenever I would come in, they look at me like I'm this young boy. And, when they would listen to my experiences, it was validating for them. It was validating for me, that they could understand. They would look at me, sometimes I get teary-eyed. I'll take a look at some of these hard, tough old timers, getting some tears rolling down their cheeks, and I'll be like, wow, okay, all right. So it
was a symbiotic thing. You were helping one another.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it definitely was. Right after I got out of the Marine Corps, I started attending school in Maricosta College. For me, it was necessary. I couldn't stay still. My family used to say, what is it called? An empty mind is the devil's workplace, and that was big for me, because I could see that if I didn't have something to do, my head would just go all over the place. I couldn't think straight, couldn't do things right. So I needed something for me to do. So as soon as I got out of the Marine Corps, I knew I needed to embark in another in another task, in another mission. And luckily, programs had started at AmeriCosta for cybersecurity, computer science and information technology with an emphasis on cybersecurity.
Now, why did you choose cybersecurity?
Because it's not easy. Because it makes you work for it, and it's something new. And I like to analyze things. I like to figure stuff out, and that's something that computer information technology gives me. It gives me a problem, and it gives me the tools to learn how to fix it. Last spring, I graduated with my associates in cybersecurity and my associates in social and behavioral sciences.
Congratulations.
And this semester, this December, I will be graduating, if God provides, I would be graduating with a bachelor's in computer information technology with an emphasis in cybersecurity and a minor in organizational leadership. December 19th, so you're all invited.
Okay, I got you.
Loma Nazarene University. My daughter Celeste, she's 15 years old. For a good part of her childhood, I wasn't around as I was in the Marine Corps and doing my diligent duties. So this past September, she wanted to move in with me, and she has made my life here a lot better. She was living in Miami with her mom, Miami, Florida, with her mom. And she's in 9th grade now. And I knew her coming over here was going to have we weren't going to be chiving 100%. We weren't going to be clicking. She's a teenage daughter, and I'm a, 35-year-old man. So, it's never perfect, but the relationship is perfect. Knowing that we're going to have our ups and downs and our little arguments here and there, it's a lot better than when I didn't have her here. She makes my life fun, in a way, in a world of darkness. And I can tell you this because the times that she has been away and I need her there, I need to call her. I need to talk to her. I need to hear that she's doing well. And I need to, hear her say that she loves me. I still need that. I have made a lot of strides in my recovery, but I still need her. She's a big part of my recovery. I would say try to stop seeing it as a battle. We fought our battles over there. We don't need to fight them back over here. And we don't need to fight them back with a civilian or with another service member within the same area, if both parents are service members. But you got to understand that you're never going to have it all one way. And the more gentler you are with that other person, the easier it is for you to talk to them, not for them to come to an agreement to you. One of the things that I learned about negotiation is that the best way to get your way in a negotiation is through listening. The more that you listen, the more that they're inclined to meet you halfway. But if somebody is talking to you and you cut them off and you fight them back, they're not gonna try to communicate with you the same way, and it will just be a shouting match. Positive. And her mom has noticed a positive change, and that's one of the things that we talk about. That she understands how happy she is here. Nothing against her mom, but they were dealing with some stuff over there. She has 2 siblings, so she was in her own diagnosis. She was feeling alienated herself. So now with her, I can give her the time that she needs.
She's daddy's little girl again, huh?
That individual time, yeah. Which she wasn't having over there. She has 2 younger siblings. So a lot of the things that she was going on for her, it felt like they weren't at the utmost importance because it couldn't have felt that way.
And is it fair to say she's made you happier, my friend?
Of course, yeah.
Now let's segue into medication. You were on various medications. You were self-medicating with alcohol. How have you changed? How have you segued out of that? I
can honestly tell you, I have a bottle of wine in my refrigerator that I haven't touched since I bought it. It's no longer a priority for me. Just to black out, I have a lot of responsibilities, not only with my daughter, but with work and with school. I have to bring those to the forefront at every time to remind myself that I can't let out the gas.
You're now working. Tell us what kind of work you're doing and where you work.
I'm a veteran services clerk for the San Diego County Office of Military and Veteran Affairs. I assist veterans with all different types of benefits. Recently we're helping a Marine. He's still active duty. He hasn't gotten out, and he is going through a very similar situation that I went through. And we're trying to help him get the legal advice to be able so that he has a good transition and help him out on the VA side once he's out. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that when I found out, I didn't want to get out. I thought I was going to do 20 years, 30 years. And just having that realization that maybe I needed to take a step back, that maybe it wasn't for me to just stay in, that's kind of hard to kind of swallow. But because I'm 3 years removed from the Corps, and now I can say, all right, things are going well. Try to show them that there's a good way, and some of the resources that are offered through the VA to be able to help them. A lot of them say, hey, well, I'm a combat vet, I'm service connected for PTSD, I can't do school. Well, we have bulk rehab. There's ways that we can get you back into the workforce. Don't lay down and give up. There's always something there. There is a way to help. We just got to find it. You got to do the work. Semper Fi Fund helped me. If they provided me with a transition fund and an education fund, they actually gave me a laptop and a tablet so that I can do my schoolwork because I didn't have it at the time. And they helped me with, they paid my first month of rent when I transitioned out so that I can get back on my feet and not have to deal with that. Finances is one of the main things that we're always thinking about whenever we're transitioning from one move to another.
So now tell me, what are your plans for the future? You seem to be doing quite well. Are you going to stay in computers? Are you going to go into cyber tech? Are you going to keep working, with veterans? Tell us what you're projecting.
I would like to do all of that together. I would like to stay with what I'm doing and do cyber tech, something that I do. But I can't. I could be a jack of all trades, but I got to focus on something. So my main thing right now is to finish up school. Okay. And see if I can work within the VA system so that I can provide services.
Tell me, as in closing, what is your advice to combat vets?
I think my most sound advice is just to understand that there is a light. If we put in our mindset to it and we do the work, we're able to overcome it. We have the tenacity, we have the endurance to be able to overcome these. And then whenever you feel like you don't, reach out to somebody, because there is somebody out there on that other side, whether it is a friend, another combat vet, somebody like you. I've talked to you a bunch of times when I have been at a pretty low point. Contact a mentor. Extend your hand out because they'll grab it and they'll pull you up through it. Never give up, because we didn't give up. That's why we're still here. So don't give up, and then just continue to push through, because we can do great things.
I'd like to thank everybody in the audience, and I'd like you to make sure that you like, subscribe, and join us in future podcasts, because I think this will become your favorite podcast. And remember, you are the captain of your fate. You are the master of your soul.
I would like to just close this interview by quoting Ben Franklin, where he said, "We had better hang together, or they will most assuredly hang us separately."
Sure.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much. You have a great one, Pat.
Okay, brother.
See you soon.